Hello, Flat Earth researchers, debaters and debunkers. Good morning from Phuket, southern Thailand. Thought I'd just share this beautiful dawn chorus of the cicadas and various animals waking up. It's about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning now. The moon is up there, by the way, just for the record, a half moon. And the sun coming up over there, about 45 degrees away. So just wanted to share that with you, really. And yeah, nice pink sky. Obviously this camera doesn't really do it justice. But yeah, maybe some of you are, I don't know, it's going to be what, Friday night for some of you? So I've already had my nap. My son's come out and he's not going to get the tablet because Daddy's using it. Oh, who have we got here? Nicholson Morley. Oh, right, okay. Any movement of the earth detected yet, or the ether? Okay. Okay. All right, getting the chats coming in here. Hang on, let me just settle myself down. And see what we've got. I'm trying to get it so I can get the sun in as well. Well, I can't get the sun in, but... Oh, okay. Well, JJ Youngblood, thanks, bro. You're one of the real ones. Oh, thanks, man. Just sharing the journey, you know, as we seek this truth together. Yeah, and I of course appreciate everyone who's sharing it too, and who's yeah. There's so much to find out. Le Kung Fu, hi, how you doing? JJBJ, okay, good morning. Chris Hayes, hi. What's that, Caesar? Hi, Caesar, blessings, okay, blessings from Atlanta. Okay, blessings to you too. Chris Hayes, ahoy. Dave Hink, okay, have you met Eric DeBay? Just curious. No, I haven't actually. We've spoken a couple of times online, very briefly, but we're at opposite ends of the country. I'm down south, right down south, near Malaysia, and he's, I'm not sure if he's actually in Bangkok or if he's up further north than that, but Thailand's quite large. I mean, it's at least 1,000 kilometers long, north to south. So yeah, obviously would love to meet the guy, and he was one of the guys that introduced me to Flat Earth, of course. So I think we've had one hangout together with Del from Beyond the Imaginary Curve, and we've chatted just a very couple of times in comment sections. Hi from Turkey. All right, excellent. Okay. It's great. It's great to know that this is. Hi Brandon. G'day. It's great to know that this whole flat Earth thing is worldwide, going global, and of course, you know, people interpret flat Earth in their own way. They've got their own ideas about what it actually means, but that's what we need to do, just get it out there. But it occurred to me yesterday. Well, it's always occurred to me, but I think kind of solidified yesterday that the whole, globe thing, globalization really is just a corporate structure. And if we have a look at the history of who's put together the globe model, these are just people in the elite. There have always been people who have been connected to the government, and it really is just this corporate realm. It's as if this piece of land that we know of is the bull ring, this corporate place where they conduct their business. And we are trained, we enter training into the company, we are birthed, B-E-R-T-H-E-D, into the system from an early age, and we receive our training at school to get up and wear the uniforms, the shirts and ties, and we are trained in appealing to authority and all the things they want us to become familiar with from an early age, to enter the corporate system. under maritime law. So yeah, Brandon, people are waking up unintentionally. Others are putting their heads on their ears and yelling la la la. Very true, very true. Understandable, of course, I don't want to hear this. I can't deal with it. No, no, no. But of course, they don't realize that once you go through that, then you're free. You are free. We can still be involved in the system. We still have to earn money. We still have to make a living. We still have to work. But when your mind is free, you don't suffer from the stress. You don't suffer from feeling that you have to conform and things like that. So you do. That's all we're trying to do, isn't it? Really, we're just trying to give people the keys. You can't force this down their throats. They have to be ready. And some people, unfortunately, some people would rather be in a kind of prison-like state, I suppose. Flat Earth Data, good morning. Hi, how you doing, man? I see you've got some good vids out recently. So it's a shame, isn't it, really, that because there's nothing to be. People are, I suppose, all afraid of change, but things could be so much different if we could we form our own communities, but communities form by themselves. Is the sun up yet? I can still see it here in Florida. It's just coming up. I wouldn't be able to give you a sunrise thing, but basically it was dark about 20 minutes ago. So I'll just show you again. There's the moon. So we're going to have a daytime moon. It's kind of above my head right now, so that's going to go off that way. The moon will go off that way for the rest of the day. So it will be a daytime moon, and the sun's coming up over there. So again, they follow similar paths. But I can't see the sun rise itself. The Swede, what's that? Swede Adventures Crew. Good morning, Thailand. Yeah, okay. Hi, Tinfoil Hatter. Hello there. And ex-heliocentric. All right, yo, Nick. Brendan, I agree. Community is organic component of human. Yeah, and I see it here in Thailand. It's less than my wife, for example. She grew up before they needed money and before they had electricity, and so in the community they help each other out. Yeah, so people get together to plow the fields. They had the buffalo, which they used to plow the fields, and then that provides the fertilizer. People grew things like here. I've got different veg and stuff. Basil, mint, kapow, they call it in Thai. Various things, papaya, all growing in the garden here. And of course, what would happen is people grow different things, and then in the morning people just come wandering around to each other's gardens, picking out what they need for their particular breakfast. They wander off into the forest and they come back with some fresh. The rose apples are falling off the tree as we speak. It's all about sharing, and then people would get married, and the community would get together to build a house, basically everything was done as a community. The temple was the center of the community. Kids would go to school and be taught by the monks. The education system in Thailand was kind of an idea. I think it was the Rama V king, who went over to the UK, saw the education system and how well it worked to get the masses in line and on board, as it were. On board, interesting word. And so that's what they would do, and that's why they introduced the system. So yes, I mean the community naturally comes together. Brandon, yeah, Earth is abundant. Yeah, we are given this impression of scarcity, aren't we? But it's absolutely the opposite. It's abundant. Fish in the water. Hi all from Copenhagen. Klaus, good morning, sir. Joel says, let's break the Antarctic Treaty in 2020. All right. Peanut 100 Cool Pics. Hi. Nice vid of the sun halo there the other day. Chris Hayes is there in the chat. Who have I missed? Okay, excuse me while I strike up. And yeah, so it's wonderful. Oh, hi FPV Angel. FPV Angel. I got a lovely picture of the full moon the other day, and it had a massive halo around it. So I'm hoping to upload that so you can have a look at that. It's just I don't know how it came out in the camera, but it's very stunning. So that was good. The Sweet Adventures crew. You've seen the latest GoPro camera from above the earth? No, I haven't. Yeah. Oh, new perspective. Thank you very much. It's very nice. Yeah, it's a labour of love, isn't it? Really, it really is. That's all. I can't stand it when I see people obfuscating the truth. You know, when they make up stories or explanations or excuses for why something doesn't happen or does do this or that. You know, it just gets my goat. So got to set the record straight. Chris Hayes would love to see the moon halo video now. Okay, I'll try and upload that for you. Okay, it's very nice. Is it possible for the sun, Caesar's asking, is it possible for the sun to let Thailand and Florida at the same time on a globe? Okay, well, you know, the sun is definitely above the horizon right now. If anyone wants to go and do the research, you know, I mean, but, you know, Lev Kung Fu, okay, is there. Joel Austin, can the moon be up in the morning in California and up in China at the same time? Yeah, good question. I mean, check it out. But it's a half moon at the moment, and it's pretty much directly overhead for me. Caesar Nick, can you see the moon as well? Yes, the moon's out. Yes, it's out. It's above my head right now. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Okay. You know, I mean, it works on the model, on the globe Earth model. They can explain it, but you know, the sun's still above the horizon here in Florida, says Caesar. Okay, all right. Yeah, you know, you go and look at time and date or something like that. It doesn't change. I think it's quite accurate, really. But of course, you know, the globe is just a translation of geometry of perspective. So, you know, I was saying in my video yesterday, nothing changes. You know, of course you'll have people assuming, and they'll demand that, you know, we want a map, we want a model. But nothing changes. Nothing changes. All you've got to understand is that they have translated or interpreted what we see with our eyes, making observations, the angles of elevation from the horizon, you know, from that halfway point, and translated that into an imaginary curve. That's all it is. It's just an inversion. Everything, you've got to, you know, just got to look at it. Everything is inverted with these guys to create the globe. Vergis says, Phuket word, who decides what is up and down, because otherwise things would fall up. Like down. Same. Yeah, density. It's a helium balloon is a mass, right? So, and of course, you get up and down because everything's contained. So things can't go sideways, they can only go up and down, can't they? So if you get a helium balloon, which is a mass, but you put it into a container of air, then of course you get the upward force, yeah? You change it to a vacuum, that medium, and the helium balloon falls because it becomes denser. That's it, density, relative density. You know, nobody... it's flat. Where do we go from there? We go in all directions. No point in trying to convince the deniers. No. But of course we are free as individuals. It's a twofold thing, isn't it? It's the internal journey in which you are no longer bound to this idea that there is limited possibility, because, you know, this whole idea about mass and gravity and everything, it just gives you this idea that there's, you know, and the whole corporate system that goes with it. we are. Do you remember being at school and those people saying, "What are you going to do? You've got to make up your mind. You've got to do this. You've got to do that." And you're thinking, "I haven't had any experience yet. I've got no idea." And of course, you're given a list of choices. Oh, you could be a policeman, a fireman, a pilot, a doctor. And of course, most of us have ended up doing something in our lives that we never even dreamed of doing when we were kids, because we gained experience, we followed a path, we met people, we did things, and then we found out that we could do this or that. And of course, times changed, whatever. So yeah, that's right. Caesar says, no need to convince anyone. I think you just follow your path, lead by example. And of course, this is what you'll see with the globers, the people who are against flat Earth, is they are trying desperately to drag everyone back in. So screw them, leave them to it. Don't even give them your attention. Don't give these guys your attention. If they come up on YouTube recommendations, go and click that thing on the right hand side and ignore them. Do not give them the attention. In fact, tell YouTube, give out, this artificial intelligence of YouTube, give it the algorithms that let it know that you're not interested in globe defending videos. You're only interested in truth seeking videos. And eventually YouTube will have to comply if it wants to maintain its popularity. So keep at it, but don't give them the time. Do not go in there trying to convince them. Ignore them. They are vampires. They steal your time and they steal your energy. Someone who has created a YouTube channel to defend the globe is never, ever, ever going to admit that they're wrong. You might be able to have an argument with them and put them into a situation where they kind of been cornered and they have to kind of squirm out of it. But that's just egos fighting. Leave them to it. It's like psychopaths. Do not give them the time of day. The only way to get rid of a psychopath in your life is to ignore them. Don't give them any attention. They can't stand it. Yeah, so Les is asking, Phuket word, where did you put Madeline? I'm honestly not sure what you mean by that. Yeah, trolls are just scared because they're sitting on the fence. Yeah, that's right. But it is scary. I mean, obviously, it's difficult to come to terms with. We've all been through it. I mean, I remember feeling like a naughty schoolboy, kind of questioning NASA, and I think, no, really, surely no. And I couldn't believe that there were people that are actually kind of doing these channels against NASA. And I was like, wow, that really kind of, I was nervous for that person. But at the end of the day, once you realize you observe water, observe the world around us and the whole thing, you don't even have to scrutinize NASA to realize that they're lying. And it's just a corporate thing, and we all lie. We lie to ourselves on a daily basis. Lies are inherent. They are part of our lives. Kids learn to lie from the early age of 2. From 2 years old, even a 1-year-old kid will suss out that he can lie. He or she can lie. So 3-year-olds, by 5 years old, they've got it completely sussed how to lie and how to cover up for their misdeeds, and we've all done it. So yeah, Jim's saying it scared me when I first realized, and then it became clear they have lied to us about everything, the calendar, the financial systems. Yes, Jim. And it's all connected, isn't it? The Gregorian calendar, the heliocentric model, the corporate system. This is all the same thing, created by these elites to have us entrapped and trained in this system. That's it. So you can't physically get out of it. If you want to travel, you need a passport. You have to be part of the system, but you still can be free. And they can't get you here. They can't read your mind. Yeah, so you just go along with it, you do your thing, play your part, but you're free. And you're just saying screw you to the rest of them. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Individual perspective. Yeah, I remember that song. Yeah, it's a good one. Damn, the name of the band came through just then. It's gone. Let's audify the YouTube's algorithm and label all of the Flat Earth videos Flat Earth debunked. I saw Flat Earth. I've actually tried that. It's interesting. It works. Simon's lips have been strained from the propaganda he spews. Yeah, and of course, anyone with discernment can see this, really, can't they? For sure. If someone's just repeat, and we all know the storyline from these guys. They get popular by attacking Flat Earth channels and just repeating the official narrative. No experiments, no nothing. So, Nobody. Also, there is a planned genocide and reset that is looming over all of us, by the way. Yes, but I don't think we should be consumed and worried about that kind of thing, because if we follow our intuition, then we will end up being in a time and a place where we're not affected by it. Yeah. So don't go worrying about that kind of stuff too much, because if you're in tune with nature, if you're in tune with yourself and where you should be, your path, then these things won't affect us. Yeah. We won't be stuck in a city with, facing a starving mob, yeah, if we are already in tune. So, Fleetwood Mac, of course, yes, Fleetwood Mac, yes. We're moving towards the free world, yes, but I think also realistically, it will always be there as well. That corporate, that's the thing. Once you realise that the globe is a corporate structure, globalization, etc., and it's a mindset, then you can just leave them to it. Just let them spin their wheels. Just let it spin on its own over there. You're not involved. You're detached from it. And it's like they're lobbing abuse at you from the prison, behind the prison wall, and you're like, well, look, you can come out if you want. Here's the keys. It's up to them. Some people want their 3 square meals a day. Phuket Wood, you were unsure of the first question. Let me clarify. I mean, Madeline McCann, is she... Oh, is this some girl that went missing? So what kind of, yeah. Why would you even bring that up? I have no idea. Simon Dan. That Caesar Road says Simon the Dan is not Si and just Simon. Man, yeah, John. Yes, absolutely, John. Anthony, it's a corporate logo. It is, isn't it? The globe, and you'll see it everywhere. You see it on the TV, the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation, etc. And it's everywhere. It's on van. It is. It's a corporate logo. And isn't it funny if you watched some kind of movie about like some dictatorship, that's ruling the world, then their logo would be everywhere, wouldn't it? It's on everything. That's what we have with the globe. You just look around. I count how many times you see the globe logo in one day. So yeah, it's a corporate logo. That's all it is. So let them have their corporation. Now there's, again, obviously the work I do, for example, is, there are standards and things, for international trade, etc. So I mean, these things, are all good in their own way. Trading is obviously something that goes on, has gone on for eons. In fact, this area in Phuket is a kind of hub of trade, and I get the impression that it's been a bit of a fight for hundreds of years about who will own the trade routes. But eventually they all eventually have to just agree to get along. Eventually, they can't. Wars are not profitable. Well, they are for a couple of people, but ultimately they can't do good trade when there's a war going on. So it works out. Flat Earth data, the basic form of trolling, I think, is about to change, and the reason is flat earthers are growing. That weird, that comment was and is true professional. Okay. Yeah, they are. Obviously they do have to adapt their tactics. In fact, I've seen a few that come in and pretend to be on your side, but then kind of say we this, we that, and I'm like, no. There's no we, there's no leadership. We're all independent people doing our own thing, and okay, we can collectively work things out as individuals. Yeah. Oh, TMF, good day. Any rain? Not today. Looks like it was a bit muggy though. There'll probably be some rain later. P900 bank holiday has been good. Hi, Jussie. Is that how you say it? Jussie, Joci. Yo. The best way to prove flatness is to open your eyes. Absolutely, Glenn. Yep. Nobody says we, the Flat Earth Society, are, yeah. Nobody, COINTELPRO. Yeah, that's it. So they are getting more strategic in their ways of doing it. But it's funny, isn't it? You just leave them to it, because those people, they are trapped souls. If they are actually, doing it for whatever, if they're being told about these contradictions, they're being told about the truth, it's so obvious that we're not on a globe, and the implications of being told that you live on a globe, then and they can't jive with it, and they don't want to jive with it, then they want to remain trapped. You know, it's just like the guy in the Matrix, isn't it? You know, those guys, the Lewowski that actually created the Matrix, very switched on, obviously, because they created a movie that had, it was like two movies in one, wasn't it? They had to have the mainstream action and stuff like that, you know. But they put some very poignant messages across in there. And Jupiter Ascending is also very good, because it just basically, it's although it's all set in space and things like that, it's basically comes down to the way that these empires, you know, rule by, you know, creating. Yeah, just go watch it. It's a good movie. King of the Round Fable. Are you on the FE Finder? No, I'm not. I was thinking of joining that. Yes, I know. I've heard about it with Zoom Truth. I was going to go and do that. Yeah. But anyone who wants to contact me or come and chat can just, you know, I'm here. So yeah, but I'll stick my name on there. It's fun to see us on a map. Yeah, it would be good. Okay. All right. Nice one. Okay. Yeah, I'll possibly do that. Yeah. So, yeah. The Sweet Adventure Crew. Do you believe in God or anything else? God is the manifestation of us and everything right here, right now. That's it. We, you know, it's not necessarily attached to any kind of religion, but if you want to put a label on it, the moment you start talking about God and attaching labels, you get problems, because people have their own idea about what God is, depending on how a religion tells you what God is. But if you just want to talk about God, God is okay, consciousness, and consciousness is infinite, and so what we are is God in consciousness having one of those infinite experiences, and everything else around us is, you know, we are, you know, we're jiving with the universe, and the universe is jiving with us. Yeah, and that's it. Consciousness is doing, there's flow, it's, you know, it's just like, it has to be that way. Yeah, and that's why we have a big clock in the sky. We have movement, we have time, because if something's going to happen, then you need time. So there is, you know, it doesn't. So, but it's interesting. Even, for example, Buddha. Yeah, the birds are doing their thing. Even the Buddha, you know, these were not questions that he would entertain. You know, the afterlife, eternity, God, creation, because it's just, we cannot answer, we cannot presuppose, we cannot presume. All we can do is focus on the moment and try to be an observer of the moment. So be the observer of what's going on in ourselves and around us. That's all any of us can ever do. You know, we can't, and of course, the whole globe thing, everything, the whole corporate structure is to have us concerned about the past and the future. There is nothing you can do about the past except not make the mistakes you made in the past. And there's nothing you can do about the future. All any of us can do is right now, and be conscious, be aware, be an observer of ourselves in the now. That's all anyone can ever do. And of course, if we have that intention, then things will just work out well in the future. There is nothing anyone else can do to change that. But of course, the whole thing is to be distracted. Everything's a distraction. Yeah, let's we're at the pinnacle of human evolution, and all we got to do next is get off this rock up to the planets and go and populate Mars and what have you, and you know, you go through the corporate structure and you aim for retirement or whatever it is. It's all a distraction. It's all a distraction from the now. So if you want to, so do I believe in God? Then I think I've hopefully explained what God is, and God is the now. The devil is the past and the future and being attached to that. Yeah, the devil is attachment, because then you have suffering. Yeah, the only way to alleviate suffering is to be in the now and observe. So even if we're having a hard time, we're sad, we've lost a lover or a loved one, you know, there's a death or something like that, then we have to observe our sadness, let it pass. You know, it you know, the thought, the emotion, and of course, thoughts and emotions manifest themselves as physical things. As you know, it becomes. This is the thing, isn't it? You know, you might have something right now. You might have a car, you might have a house, you might have a phone, or whatever you want, something that you wanted, and at one time it was just a thought. It was just an idea, and it eventually manifested as your reality. Yeah, so this is the thing, isn't it? All this, that our physical reality is created from. It's not created from the vacuum of space and the Big Bang. It is created from consciousness. Yeah. So the Sweet Adventures crew, cool. Yeah, nice. Yeah. So TMF, pointless things. Okay. I hope you're talking about those material things. Yeah. So yeah, Brandon says NASA fanboys are so ready to leave for Mars and ignore homeless. Yeah, this is it, isn't it? And of course, people are, yeah, for the most part, people are doing wonderful things. Whether it's you're an ambulance worker or you're a social worker or you're helping homeless people, yeah, and things like that. But just imagine if nobody was involved, if community was a thing, there wouldn't be homelessness. If people weren't being taught to be selfish and look down, we all need help at times. We all need help. We've all been in that situation where we need a handout, we need some food, we need somewhere to sleep, we need, and of course, this, I think, for a lot of the time, these globe deniers, they might well be successful people, and of course they've succeeded in the system. They've made progress and they've got their education and boom, 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 boom. So the last thing they want to do is think about giving that up. Yeah. And for the most part, they're all nice people, aren't they? They are all nice people. I mean, I'm sure if the whole flat Earth subject didn't come up when you're talking to a Globie, for the most part, you'd probably have a good conversation. You could talk about anything else, and you'd probably have all sorts of things in common until it came to the flat Earth, and then boom, everything goes to shit. Such a shame. Such a shame. Bates says the sun-worshipping Jesuits hijacked the human race 550 years ago. All control, power, slavery make us worthless and created from a Big Bang. I know, though, we are created by how. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. But that higher power is within us, isn't it? It is within us, and I don't think we should be feel guilty or afraid or what's the word? Because we still have to be careful about not a higher power. It's funny, isn't it? Because gravity is considered as an external force. So I think it's important not to consider God as an external force. It is a force that's within, but it's not. It's funny how we point to the heart, isn't it? But it's all of it. It's our constitution. It's our senses. It's our, So, we, in that sense, we are the creator. In one of the many infinite possible forms. Yeah, this is the thing about, if you want to talk about God, isn't it? Because God, there are infinite possibilities, and we do live in a world of infinite possibilities. Anything can happen. Yeah. Anything can manifest, and that's amazing. And sure, we're all here because we felt that. We suddenly, once we detached from the globe, it was like, wow. The exploration began again of what this world is, and you felt like a kid again because it was all being seen with fresh eyes. You just look at the wavy lines coming off a road, and you're thinking, oh wow, that's it's it just becomes a whole fresh experience. So yeah, celebrate that, and those globies who don't want to go there, then screw them, leave them to it. You just can't persuade them. But yeah, do ignore them, because there's no point in spending your energy on them. And of course, that's kind of can be an ego thing as well. If you're trying to persuade a globie, then well, what's in it for you? Nothing. Unless you're trying to prove them wrong or get one-upmanship, So sure, you can point these things out and then let them make up their own mind. But it's not a battle. It's not a fight. It's not one-upmanship. It's So, but there will always be predators. There always are, aren't there? There are predators everywhere. You just look around the garden here. you know, there's ants eating things and what have you, and there's ants being eaten, and the same happens to us. There are predators. There always will be. That's the way it is. It has to be that way. Yeah. So you can't avoid it. You just have to be savvy. Shane Walter, everything is a money-making scam these days. Yeah. Unfortunately, we have to make money. I mean, you know, the Ubuntu thing by Michael Tellinger is great, and I'd love to be involved in that as well, and kind of try to find a way to live without having to be of using money. As I said just earlier on, it was less than a generation ago that was the situation in Thailand, where money wasn't required. But of course, if you wanted to do anything other than exist as a community, then unfortunately some form of, you know, debt, money, whatever is required. So yeah, TMS says, I hate the divisions in life caused by finances. Maybe okay, we can still, you know, it's the attachment to money, isn't it? You know, it's a tool that we all need to use for transactions, but it's the attachment to it that is the problem, perhaps. Yeah. Nick makes me crave for those cheap untaxed ciggies. Yeah, man, it was good to get back here and not be ripped off for the ciggies. God. How connect Phuket to Thailand with no satellites? Well, the landlines have been here for yonks, and they're you know, they were in there much longer before satellite. And even as, you know, satellites, balloons, if they exist. But to assume that there are okay, for example, Bangkok has 10 million people in it. Let's assume that 90% of those people have a phone. Let's just say that 10 million people are using their phones and their GPS devices in a single city. Do you really think that all their signals are being sent up to a geostationary satellite and back down again in an instant? What a load of bollocks. Yeah, absolutely. And do you know what? When Thailand first got the internet, yeah, all they were told they couldn't do it because they had these very, I mean, the telephone wires are crap. But they did it. They made it work. Copper wires, copper telephone wires. They pulled it off. All of a sudden, everyone had internet. Yeah, through the telephone wires. Yeah. So it's not satellites. Those cables have been in place for a long time. Long time. You know. So Bates says my cigs are 12 Canadian dollars for 20. Yeah, I was paying 12 quid in the UK. That's just mental. Absolutely. But isn't it funny how, you know, those things that we become addicted to. Tobacco is not necessarily a bad thing. It's the chemicals they put in them. Because I've seen people that, you know, especially up country here, you know, they smoke the natural tobacco, the rolling tobacco, and they just survive till at least 100. My wife's great grandma is like well over 100 years old. They lost count. Smokes like a trooper. But yeah, they tax the things that we kind of need. Of course, you know, that it's just, you know. Yeah, TMF. I heard. Yeah, I got someone I know who's a NASA fanboy sent me a link to that. So it's launching satellites. Yeah. David Marks, undersea cables and cell towers. Oh, is Urban Explorer in the chat? All right, mate. You know, if you're there, if you're listening, I find I got no beef with you, man. I just find it weird that you're an awake person. You're awake to the global agenda, but there's something deep inside you that prevents you from. I don't know what it is. Is it because you weren't one of the first to come up with the idea or realize it? A little. I don't know. I don't know what it is, man. It's the same. You know, and same with Ron Sampson as well. Lovely guy, nice guy, really nice chap. But what is it about these people that they think, oh, they're so stupid, why don't they get it? And it's like, yeah, we do get it, we get how the model works, we all understand it, but I don't know why. I honestly, this is the one thing that baffles me about the Globe Defenders, who are awake. Stationary plane, hi, good morning. Flat enough, all right, how's it going? Yeah, the archipelago, I can never say that word. We'll chat sometime, Nick. Yeah, I'm open to it, man. Honestly, I do. Let me get this straight. My intention has never, ever, ever been to argue. If you go and look at my very first video about flat Earth, it was like I just wanted to bridge this understanding, because I can see it from the globalist point of view and I can see it from the flat Earth point of view. And all I wanted to do was like, can't we all just get along and share? That was, but of course, the abuse comes, boom, 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 boom. And the only reason I keep on doing these videos is because I see people that misunderstand, grossly misunderstand flat earthers. And doesn't matter how many times, and you globers will say, but it doesn't matter how many times we try to teach them or tell them, they don't get it. It's like, we get it, we understand the model, but we understand that that's just an interpretation. We understand that it doesn't make sense. Water, things like that. Yeah. Jim, I didn't commit to the flat Earth until I realised the Jesuits had a reason to ball us up. Yeah, of course, there is that thing, isn't there? So why would they lie? Well, there are a multitude of reasons, but it is our enslavement. Sweet adventure, China on the moon, travelling around, have a great time. Just saying, China on the moon, yeah. Okay. Yeah, storytellers on both sides, yeah. Flat enough. The first one is one of ignorance, where you are not even aware that there are things to know. Maybe you even believe you know. I think, yeah, of course. And of course, okay. It's funny, isn't it? Because one of the accusations that flat earthers are accused of is like, you think you're special, you've got this special knowledge that and are you comparing yourself to Einstein and Newton and things like that? But the thing is with the Glober is that we as a rule have been instilled with this belief that we are at the pinnacle of human evolution, this linear thing from monkey's ass to human. And then the next step is to get out into space. So of course that person is coming from a mindset that humans have got it all sussed and that we are special in our knowledge. And it's the first time we've ever had so much knowledge with science. Yeah. So it's weird because although the Glober is taught that you're just a speck, we're insignificant, the feeling is that we have this special knowledge because science has advanced so much and we're at this pinnacle of evolution. Yet the flat earther is accused of believing that they have something special. No, it's not something special. It's just, as someone said just now, you're not aware of things until they're pointed out. Then you go and have a look and you think, oh my God. And then you just want to tell the world because you want to free them. Yeah. And it's not the same as being, for example, you want to what is it? You get into something and you want to show off. It's not that. No, you just want to share. Just want to share. And yeah, I'm sure we were all naive maybe at some point when we thought, oh my God, this changes the world. It's going to change overnight. As soon as people are made aware of this, once it catches on, then everything will change. But of course, it doesn't catch on. It does. It's gaining traction. Rickus Vaticus says, are you familiar with the work of Stan Tenen? No, but thanks for the heads up. I'll check that out. Stan Tenen. Okay. Jim says, I never felt special about flat Earth. I felt quite yes, absolutely concerned. And it's, of course, we question ourselves. You do question, am I falling for a trap? Am I falling for a scam? But then you realize that no, this isn't about following a cult, because no one's asking you to follow them. No one is being a leader, or although there are, you can maybe look around and see if certain people have attempted to lead with disinfo, or make assumptions. But anyway, yeah. So I think part of the process is self-questioning. So this is why we know that the Glober is coming at a standpoint of not knowing. but we also realise that we don't know. We don't know anything. Let's start again. Let's explore. Fat enough says I can almost see your apparent son from here. Yeah. Harry Bird, hi. Okay, excellent. Check out Harry's what he's done recently. Harry, is it Bard or Baird? Baird? Is it because you're a musician, or is that your real surname? Doesn't matter. But check out Harry Baird's recent videos, because he's been using a tower as a reference point, and then kind of showing that the horizon goes above or below the tower. Yeah. And the Globies are like just on him, like trying to explain it away, and he's like, no, it's just just tell me why it's doing that, and they can't. It's brilliant. Bates says I watched Iron Sky 2. No idea what that is, but maybe it sounds good. I couldn't believe I was hoodwinked since I was a child. Yes, and it's very difficult to admit, isn't it, if we've been hoodwinked. And of course, sorry to talk about myself, I don't like doing it, but I mean, obviously coming to Thailand, you're faced with every scam in the book. And it's very clever how they do it sometimes for these, I've never fallen for it for myself, but I've heard of so many stories, these jewelry scams, yeah? What happens is you get some person come over to Asia, yeah, and so they might be staying at a guest house or a hotel or something, and then they get in a tuk-tuk, and then the tuk-tuk says, they get to hear about this, there's a special sale, it's a special day, there's a special day on for tourists, only tourists allowed to get this cheap deal on gems, and then they'll go to the tuk-tuk takes them to a tourist temple or something like that, and just leaves them to it. And then in the temple there's another foreign guy, who kind of just wanders up to them, makes, hey, how's it going, all right, yeah, has a little chat with them, and mentions that there's a thing on today, special sale for foreigners, they can go and get their gems, and that's it. He's played his role as mentioning in it. So these tourists have had the confirmation now from two people, and that's usually enough to persuade them to then say, go back to the tuk-tuk and say, hey, take me to this jewelry shop. And of course what happens is by the time they come to actually, they arm and they don't feel quite, but they've already got themselves into a situation which they put themselves into, that they know by the time they're actually handing over the money, they usually know that they're being ripped off, but they carry on with the transaction. They don't have the balls to just say, okay, I've realized I've been scammed, I'm out of here. Yeah. So it's funny, we can realize at the time that we're being scammed, but we will go along with it for saving face. And so yeah, seen it so many times where this is how people operate, that all you need to do is implant that idea from a couple of different sources. And of course that's what happens with the mainstream media, isn't it? You open up the newspaper and it's just repeating what was said on a TV or a documentary, and of course everyone's talking about it, and all of a sudden it becomes popular opinion. It's just a given fact. Yeah, I work in media. It's you know when you write a story or a headline, or the way you know what kind of reactions you're going to get from the readers, and they're going to say, because it's people are so predictable, unfortunately. Anyway, I'm blabbing. Let's have a look. Who's Kings dethroned. Your example of water drains from mountains as above, so below. Okay, I'm not sure if that was referring to me. Flat enough. Special prize for you, my friend. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and of course, oh my God, the men that I've seen come over here, they might have given up everything over there. They've had their wife, their kids, their mortgage, their job. They come over here, and some might have a load of money to invest in a bar. And of course, for them it's just this fantasy thing, and they put all their money into a bar, and they just, they'd never last more than a year, and then everything's gone, and they got to start again. Yeah. Flat enough. Aren't there psychoactive drugs involved that are used through skin contact to make the victim more open to suggestion? Who knows? I'm sure there are, but I think we are susceptible to it because once you understand that the ego is open to suggestion, then we're very susceptible. Harry Baird, being flat earther is like standing in front of a classroom of little kids with the news that there is no Santa. I know, it's a bit, I feel sorry for them. Bates says, Nick, do they have the fake insurance scams like in China where a person will pretend to be hit by a car? Not really, not too much, no, because insurance wasn't really a mega thing until a few years ago, a couple of decades ago, so no. But of course, if you in India, for example, if you run into a cow, you've got like a mob of people saying, that's my cow. Yeah. FPV Angel, they know how it worked and depicted it perfectly, yeah. CC, oh, hi CC. Great conversation, brother, excellent. Oh, okay, and likewise, man, I like the stuff you're doing, CC. Great stuff. You're thinking, you're exploring, and you know, it's cool. It's nice to be connected in that way. Glenn Souch, people seem to be oblivious to the idea that the fallen angels are still here. Okay, yeah, you know, yeah, predators, and yeah, these leaders. You gotta think. You just ask someone, how did the leaders attain their power? Are we given the history, the real history? The people that are in charge, how did they attain their power? Does anyone know? Does anyone know the full history? No. Zoom Truth, hi. Flat Earth People Finder is almost at 900. Yes, oh right, the goal is 9,000. Nice one. Okay, good stuff. Yeah, I think it's good to be doing something outside of YouTube as well. You know, obviously there is a slight bit of paranoia, I must admit, in being part of a group. But, you know, I shall sign up. Because I'm not afraid either. I'm not afraid, you know, people can come around here. There's no need to hide, and this is what you'll find with the Globers. And this is why I show my face. I don't like showing my face. I don't like showing my gappy teeth, you know. But we have something to share, and it must get out there. So these people who hide behind. Oh, my wife is. Okay, give me 1 minute. Ning natina. Okay, bad ning. Deal. Okay. Good. Nah. Okay. I have to sort things out. So yeah. Family takes priority, although we are one big family, and I really feel the warmth there from everyone, and this is really nice. This is really nice to be exploring together. This is the whole point, isn't it? We've got to explore, and the only way we can explore is realize that we are not globed in, boxed in. Yeah. So Jim says, yes, Nick. Okay, very quickly read the last of these chats and then I got to go. Jim says, yes, Nick, don't you know the Queen was officially appointed by God, the Pope? Yeah, yeah, I know. Under whose authority? Yeah. Brandon, love your videos. Okay, thank you, Brandon. Vlad, hi Vlad, cheers, Nick, best to you, my friend. All right, man. Okay, and why is the fascist posted in courthouses? Yes, good question. Look out for it. Whale of Belief, great seeing you all. Yeah, nice one. Zoom Truth, don't need to give exact address either. Oh, good one. Okay, thanks for pointing that out, Zoom Truth. Nice one. Okay, so yeah, that looks fairly. That's a good thing there. Jim, thank you, brother in Thailand. Okay, flat enough. Later, Earthers. Okay, all right. This is raw. Use a diagram to show the universe vast spheres. Ask you how to look up in Australia to see Saturn. Is the planets above or below? Good one. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, everyone. Okay. Sorry if I missed your chats. We'll catch up soon. It's been great. And so Sawadee Cup from here. And we'll catch up soon. Thank you very much. Cheers.